Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. I'll be showing you how to make a cloud, moon, and teddy bear cake topper for your Twinkle Twinkle Little Star theme cake. What you'll need is some fondant, cornstarch or powdered sugar mix to dust, a dusting brush, some star cutters of different sizes, a large sugar cutter for your moon, some water, a slip mat, a rolling pin. I'm going to be using brown and yellow dye, but ignore the blue and pink. Now for your tools, you're going to need some brushes, fondant tools, and an X-Acto knife. I was going to use a baby mold, but you'll see later in the video why I don't end up using it. Alright, so first thing you're going to do is knead that fondant. So I'm going to try my best not to speak too much in this video, but I'll be as detailed as possible. But if I miss anything, I'll for sure leave some notes on the screen for you guys. Here I am coloring some fondant to match the skin color for the baby mold. Even though I don't use the baby mold, I still wanted to keep these clips in so that you guys can see my errors and mistakes. Next, I'm going to be dusting the mold with some cornstarch so that the fondant doesn't stick to the mold when I unmold it. Then I'm going to squeeze some fondant into the mold. Right here, I'm just cutting off any excess fondant. Next, I am going to make the moon. I'm going to be rolling this piece out a little thicker, probably like a 1/4 of an inch thick. Next, I'm going to cut the inside of the moon. Now remember to smooth out any cut edges on these big pieces because those little ridge parts will show. Now with the round tool, I'm going to be making little craters in the moon. And I use both sides of this tool so that I can get like different shapes of the craters. Now I'm gonna cut more of the moon because I want it to be like kind of like an eclipsed moon. This end's gonna be the bottom of my moon, and that's where I'm gonna stand it up on, but you can decide whichever way you want it to face. Next, I'm going to be rolling out a really thin piece of fondant, and I'll be using my Wilton star hole puncher. I'm not sure if these are still available, so if you have a tiny little star cutter, you can use that too. I'm going to be using these later on. You'll see towards the end. I'm just cutting these so that they can harden overnight. I'll be cascading these all over the cake once it's finished, but I will be adding some to the topper as well. And once you got enough stars or what you think you'll need, put that aside, and then we're going to start rolling a thin piece of fondant and cut the other star shapes. I mean the other star sizes. Sorry guys, this is my first time doing a voiceover. So next, I'm going to be rolling different size balls, and these will be used for my 3-dimensional clouds. Next, I'm going to cut this board a bit smaller than the 6-inch because I'm going to be using this as the base for my topper. Next, I'm gonna be rolling out a thin piece of fondant, and this piece is gonna be covering this board. So you can totally add all your decorations onto the cake, but I wanted to do this little base so that it's removable for the client to have as a keepsake before they cut their cake. So hopefully the couple cherishes this little piece forever. So now that it's covered, I'm gonna add some cornstarch to the little wet areas so that it doesn't stick to my little slip mat. Now I had already done a little three-dimensional cloud just to show you guys. So next I'm going to be making my little clouds. Now I'm just going to go directly onto the base. I'm going to roll out my fondant and then place it over the little balls that I had rolled. Yeah, I don't have to make the clouds directly on top of the base. I just wanted to do this so I can blend the edge piece with the base. You guys will see it in a bit. So right here, I'm just tucking some leftover fondant under the base just so that it can blend. I'm gonna add a little piece of fondant right there because some board was showing. But once I'm done with this little piece, I'm gonna go in and fix my imperfections and all that jazz. And right here, I'm using the tool to smooth it out. Right here, I'm just tucking some fondant that I don't want exposed. I'm still not sure at this point how I'm gonna stand the moon up, but just in case, I want those little edges to not be so obvious. So with my base practically all covered, I'm gonna check how the moon looks on top and then make little adjustments. All right, moment of truth. This is what I was talking about. You have to be very careful when unmolding, but look at that smashed head. Oh no. My client gave me a green light to be as creative as I wanted to be for this cake, which is awesome. So I wanted to do the baby, but I was still kind of hesitant, and I figured that the mold wasn't going to unmold the way I wanted it to. So I already had this idea of making the bear anyways, which I am completely happy with. So this is the body, and it looks kind of like a motorcycle seat. Next, I'm making the head. So the arms are kind of tricky because he's supposed to be sleeping on his arms. So you can see like I go back and forth, like trimming a little bit of the arms and even the legs, just so that I can fit and can look proportionately even and not like super awkward, because bears don't have long ass arms, they have like bear arms. Anyways, this little arm is gonna be the arm that he's gonna be sleeping on, and the other arm, you can see that like right here, I'm kind of molding it and I squeeze it down a little bit, and that's because I want it to look like he has his arm bent. But that's gonna be the focal point, that's gonna be the front of the bear, so I want it to look like a cute little arm resting on his chin. Next, I'm going to make its little mouth, and I did have a little bit of trouble trying to get the proportions right, but I end up nailing it. Now I'm making its little ears. So cute! Now I'm adding the little tail. Now I'm making its little legs, and these are going to be a little bit bigger than its arms, obviously. And I just kind of like mold it to like make it look like it's bent back, or kind of like a teddy bear. Now I'm making its little nightcap. And you'll see it takes up most of its head, so I didn't really need to add that second ear. Oh my god, look how adorable! I love it. Alright, this is the next day. Everything hardened overnight. And right here where I'm signaling is where I put a toothpick. I also put a toothpick on the back across the moon onto a cloud just for stability. And then I placed a little cloud on top of that toothpick. Next, I'm going to position the bear where I want it to be. And right under it, right there, I'm going to add that piece of fondant just so it can balance, right? And then I'm going to put 2 toothpicks right where the shoulder of the bear is and on the behind so it doesn't fall off. And then I'll secure it with some water. I'm so sorry, my hand covered most of it and I thought I had a really great angle, but you could kind of see. And there you go. Next, I'm going to color that little nightcap gold. And this is the finished product. I loved how this cake came out. I had so much fun making it. And look how cute the little bear looks. Oh my god, I'm so sorry about the length of this video, but if you guys stuck around, thank you so much for watching. If you guys want to see me do something else, let me know down below. Comment, like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you later. Bye.